Good evening. We will call the September 5th meeting of the Common Council to order. I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Vitale.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
Grisham. Here. Haas.
Here.
Keen. Here. Lysick.
Here.
Reinke. Here. Rote.
Here.
Stefanski.
Here.
Turner. 10 present.
We have a quorum. Please rise if you are able and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led this evening by Alderman Vitale. All right, we'll move on to item D. We have one public hearing this evening, and I will ask the clerk to read that out.
Ordinance to rezone property located at 9343 West Lincoln Avenue from RC to C2 commercial.
Thank you, and I'll turn it over to staff. Mr. Scher.
Thanks, Mayor. This first hearing is a result of the school district relocating to this property from 70th Street to Lincoln Avenue, consolidating their offices here. As a result, there's two properties involved, both of which are owned by the school district. The larger area, which is about a 2-acre site with the building on it here, is a 2-acre site, and that is zone C2, neighborhood or commercial. And then the other site is a small parking lot, an off-street parking lot for school district employees. That's zoned RC, which is a high-density residential. As part of the renovation and consolidation of these two properties, staff did not want this property to become, or this property to be a split zone property, and therefore is recommending rezoning it from RC residential to C2 neighborhood commercial. In addition, on that small site outlined in blue, the future land use category would be changed from the existing land use classification to mixed use. And then just taking a closer look at the existing zoning map here on the left and the future land use map on the right. So with a future land use reclassification from residential to mixed use, and that would be consistent with the overall 2-acre parcel with the offices on it. And then also over here on the left, that's the zoning map. High density residential is RC, and then rezoning that to C2, which is commercial, to be consistent with the main 2-acre office property. Plan Commission has looked at this and recommended approval. They're referring to the Common Council. There has been a public notice, and there have been no objections to date. Thank you.
Let me turn my microphone on. Thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments from the council?
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Weigel.
Steve, generally when I hear mixed use, I think commercial residential. Is this going to be kind of like office light motor vehicle service? I mean, why is this mixed use?
The mixed use is the future land use category that the city assigned to it for the school or for the former office property some years ago, and mixed use is consistent with the commercial rezoning that's being recommended. So the land use classification is simply one that the city envisions. Someday this property could
20
become,
years, 30 years, something
could become a mixed use property. But commercial is consistent. The actual zoning district, the commercial zoning district, is consistent with that.
Okay. So it will be essentially office, and are they going to do? I think they had a little motor vehicle service in the back in the past. Is that coming back?
That is like the former lower area, like a warehouse and shop area down below. That area is being renovated as part of the office. The school district relocating its offices here. So that lower level would be renovated, and there'd be a small addition added above. I don't know if you can see the cursor here. It'd be a small addition added back here for additional offices and conference rooms. There's also a workforce clinic currently within this building over on the west side of the property, and that will stay. This is really the property here that's being rezoned and reclassified is over here on the west side or right side of this building, and it's going to be consolidated via CSM. And just given the difference in zoning right now, we just want to make it consistent.
Not split zoning.
Yeah,
I got it.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Weigel. Any other questions from the council? Seeing none, are there any questions from the members of the audience on public hearing number 1? All right. Then we will close public hearing number 1, and we will move on to item E, which is citizen participation. This is when the council can receive information from members of the public. During this 30-minute period, the speaker must announce their name and address to the council, and the council cannot take action or debate the topics raised by the speakers due to potential violations of our meeting laws. Are there any members in the audience that wish to address the council through citizen participation this evening? Yes. Just please start out by giving us your name and address and then sign in either before or after your remarks.
My name is Gerald Griesmer, 2367 South 98th Street, West Dallas. My concern is with regard to the proposed high-rise, 6-story high-rise, high-density, 247-unit apartment complex to replace the current Clark oil refinery office building at 85th and National. This is just inconceivable. I question how the current developer qualified for a loan through the bank or whoever. I also question what is the criteria surrounding the decision-making policy on the part of the federal government grant to be offered. I understand the cost of the structure project will be approximately $64 million. This is one, you would think by now we have learned our lesson, but I guess we're just doomed to fail and repeat again and again. I don't wish to prejudge, but it would appear to me as if the developer assumes that the council will rubber stamp this project without really any detailed concern. This is on a very high visible 3-acre parcel of land, which I don't know the historic background upon it, but I would recommend that in either case, whatever will result in the end, that the site be titled Honey Creek Settlement Village. Now, when you take a complex of this magnitude, it is hardly a village. I suggest to you that the Common Council will automatically approve this project on the basis of economic development, of which I was an early part of in the city. I don't believe that the economic development committee ought to get involved in this massive. This is the route apparently that the city wishes to go because it's more economical. I don't agree. I think we need to table this proposal and put it out to any number of architects, both in the past and present, to submit alternate sketches or drafts as to what could be built on that site. Not to exceed 2.5 stories. The 6th story is just another, what do you say, another duplicate of the Sunrise Apartments. Typical of any massive apartment complex, you have a hallway down the center, right down the center. It hasn't changed since day one. That can be altered. That can be altered.
Mr. Griesmer, you've got 30 seconds left.
All right. So I am only one voice, but I am one voice, and I represent the general public and citizenry of this community. I think it would be a disgrace if this building is built. And secondly, most important, I recently belong to the and am an active participant in the Historic Preservation Committee, as well as the Historical Society Board. And we had looked at the possibility of salvaging that turret with the witch's cap and the slate roof. And I would also recommend that the brick on the structure be recycled. Now, it is not Cream City brick, I was told by Devin Graciani, who chairs the Historical Society, but however, and then it was suggested to me that it could be lead paint. I don't think so, but if it is, who cares?
Hey, Mr. Griesmer, your time is up, so I'm going to just ask you to conclude your comments, please.
Okay, just I have the tradesmen reverse the brick so it seals the brick and recycle the brick on the structure. So there's endless possibilities for this site, but none what is proposed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody else wish to address the council under citizen participation this evening?
Hi, I'm Brian Gerard. 2189 South 90th Street. Yeah, and actually I'd like to talk about the same topic. Yeah, I just feel that the density of the building is just too great. It's going to be towering over National Avenue. They talked about setbacks, but on the one end, there's just not going to be much of a setback at all. And then I don't know if any of you have lived in a high-rise building like that, but you know, elevators break down, smells in the stairwell and stuff. I mean, by the time this TIF gets paid off, you know, you could have the next Morgan Oaks on your hands and everything like that. And they're really, the developer, the Three Leaf developer, they really don't have much of a history. I mean, before 2020, they were flipping houses and stuff. So such a large building, you know, no matter if it's market rate apartments, they're, you know, you're still got people living on top of each other, and there's going to be conflict. I know, and extra police calls for the area. And then also, I mean, the normal, also with just that number of people, the traffic is going to increase, and they talked about doing a bump out there, but it's like, you know, with a fair park and other events in the city, that's just going to tie up traffic even more. You know, it's kind of a central path through the thing. I guess one other thing that I'd like to mention, the parking. I don't know if, you know, they're supposed to only have 295 spaces for 247 units, and I don't know how many, you know, to me, I don't know too many couples that don't have two vehicles and stuff. It's like, so, let's see if there's anything else. Oh, and I kind of looked up at, you know, the Three Leaf proposal, and I don't see, they've got a couple other things going on, like Grafton and Heartland and stuff, and I don't see where they're getting a TIF on that either. So it's like, to me, by the time we get can fully benefit from the increased tax amount, I think the property could be run down. So I guess that's about all I have to say.
All right. Thank you very much. Does anybody else wish to address the council under citizen participation this evening? Okay, seeing none, we will close citizen participation. And we will move on to item F. Our standing committees will be meeting during recess. Those room numbers are listed on the bottom of page 1. If you don't have an agenda and are here for a license hearing or to do some business at the committee level, please take a look at the agenda or stop one of us on the way out, because when we break for recess is when those meetings will be taking place, and we will make sure you get into the right room. Moving on to item G, the mayor's report. I just have a few things this evening. One, I just want to give everybody a reminder that school's back in session. Some schools started last week. West Allis, West Milwaukee started today. So if you are out moving through the community, especially in the morning or in the afternoon, please be extra cautious and aware for children crossing the street or waiting for the bus or moving around near the schools. It's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of possibly new parents learning their ways to get their kids to school and pick up their kids, but just exercise patience and caution, please. Next up, I just want to remind everybody that Thursday is the next city concert series. That's on September 7th. It's going to be at Veterans Park at 69th and National, and the band this Thursday is called the Sweet Sheiks. They are described as jazz and pop songs from the teens, 1920s and 1930s, and if any of you went to Haunted Honey Creek last fall, you will know who this band is. There will also be food and drink and activities for the families. Similarly, on Friday, September 8th, we have Art on the Plaza, which is our partnership with Inspiration Studios here in West Allis. There are going to be local artists selling their art. There is going to be food, music, drinks, things like that. It's kind of a neat event right at the plaza at City Hall. So September 7th, Thursday, is the concert at 69th and National, and Friday, September 8th, is the Art on the Plaza event here at the plaza at City Hall. That is all I have for the mayor's report this evening. We'll move to item H. Are there any alderpersons' reports?
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Haas.
I have one event to add to your list of events that you had provided, Mayor, and that is tomorrow at 5 p.m. is the West Allis Community Ride for bicyclists, that kind of ride. So meet at 5 p.m. at the Oak Brewing Company at 67th and National, and we'll leave at 5:30 and bike around West Allis. Encourage everyone to come.
Thank you, Alderman Haas. Any other alderpersons' reports? All right. Then we'll go on to
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Lysak.
I move for approval of the minutes of August 1st, 2023.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Are there any corrections or changes to the minutes? All in favor? Any opposed? You guys have it. The minutes are approved. We do not have any standing committee reports under item J, so we will go to item K.
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Lysak.
I think there's one item that's we want to have removed from the consent agenda.
Mayor Devine, I'd like item number 7 sent back to, I'm not sure if it'd be Economic Development or the Public Safety Committee for discussion.
Recommend public safety on that one. We take a voice majority vote of the council.
Okay. There's a motion to return that one to the Public Safety Committee. If there is no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that is sent back.
And Mayor Devine, with that exception.
Oh, hold on.
Unless there's
another. Mayor Devine.
Alderman Haas.
Yeah, then I request that items 5 and 6 likewise are referred to the Public Safety Committee. I want to say I plan on voting in favor of these items, but I just think that those items deserve more discussion rather than to be voted upon on a block vote.
Thank you. Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Also referred.
Are there any other changes to the consent agenda? If not, then I move that the consent agenda be approved as printed.
There's a motion and a second. If there's no discussion, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Kane. Aye. Lysick.
Aye.
Reinke.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Stefanski.
Aye.
Turner. 10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries.
Mayor Vine,
Alderman Lysick.
I move that we stand in recess until conclusion of the committee meetings.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are in recess.